and nothing's stopping me now. And nothing's stopping me now. Nothing's stopping me.
Hello everyone, this is Patty and I welcome you to the Skywolf Legacy Yavin 4 Stronghold and Crew Skill Farm on Jedi Covenant. So we'll let you listen to the opening video.
You are a powerful figure on the galactic stage. Powerful figures attract powerful enemies. Shield yourself from your enemies. Broaden your sphere of influence. Wield your prosperity as a weapon. Accomplish all of this and more with strongholds. Procure a location from across the galaxy to construct your new power base. Adorn your stronghold in stunning opulence. And immerse yourself in gratification as the seething resentment and abject fear of your adversaries wash over you. Be ever in service to the Empire. Show your worth. Brandish your power. Secure a stronghold now.
Okay, so we're off and running and we're headed to the board that's here on Droman Kos, very much like the one you see on Fleet. And you can also access your strongholds from your UI, and it brings up a screen that shows all the strongholds that you have, and you just click on the button to the one you want to go to, and off you go. So I'm going to leave it to our opening video for Yavin 4, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, so we're now on Yavin 4, and this is my Imperial agent, or one of them that I have, that's a new character for me, and so it's going to show up some of the new little goodies that you get. But this is where your starship platform is. There's another one down into the Yavin grounds, but we'll get to that in a minute. That is your exit button if you don't want to use the one that's right above your map. I'm going to do a run around behind the back of this ship and everything on this thing. The first time I got my Yavin 4 stronghold, I really wasn't paying attention to where my ledges were, and trust me, I fell off the edges and died. I was having too much fun just looking at everything that was into this one, because it was pretty neat and looked like it was incredibly large, especially with all the other smaller temples and stuff in the background. So basically what I'm doing is just giving you an overview of what the valley looks like that's sitting below where this stronghold is. And there is one of my ships. I have 3 of those, I believe, that I have on Yavin 4. I have one on Tatooine, and my other one I think I'm saving for the Manan stronghold when it comes out. So from the distance here, you can see that I have banners on the ledges, and I have the symbols for each one of the classes, and I have the decorations pretty much kind of appropriate around the edges with some of the Yavin spear guards that they have there, and I have other decorations to go with it. Pretty much what I've done with my larger strongholds is I've made them by faction, more or less. They cover for both. I have thought about the fact of going 3 and 3 when Manan comes out, but I really haven't decided yet. This is what I call my Galactic Stronghold out of all the ones that I have. Basically because it has a big opening area in this stronghold. I've seen a lot of other uses, throne rooms and complete pirate party central, you want to call it, with all the arrangements that you can get for tables and seats and chairs and whatnot. But I turned mine into Galactic, and I have just about everything you can think of under the sun that I've been able to get. I don't have all the decorations because there are a ton of them out there. But as you can see when I'm walking by, the bounty board and the bounty podium, they are interactive, and especially the bounty board because it has 2 screens and a turn-off. So I think that's kind of neat when they brought it out. So it kind of goes with the decor that I have when I had the bounty podium on that side. So I was like, huh, perfect, I'll just put that right here. So I've kind of like tried to lay out my computers and screens and monitors and everything into a way where they are viewable, workable, etc. So right now, I'm not going to take a whole big run around the big room just yet, but I'm going to take you down in here, which is where I have my bar. This has also my hot tub, so I call it my hot tub bar room. So it's just pretty much a lounging, playful area for this particular stronghold. I liked the way the room sat and had the opening in the roof with the grated metal up on top. I think I'm going to show you a flash of that here in just a moment. But I kind of decorated for fun and a few little, bar holograms, and I have placards and whatnot in there. But it would, you can do with what you want. And there you go. There's your grading up on the open top there. Now this is one of 2 rooms that they don't have a jump point, so that you can get up any higher. So that's all your decorations are first level only in this room. And of course I'm just going to cruise through my hot tub here and then walk out to the balcony. And the balcony has a nice view of the valley. Also has a beautiful view of one of the big waterfalls, as well as your bridge that takes you to the Yavin grounds, which we'll get to here in a little bit. In some of my previous videos, I've mentioned that I'm not the world's greatest jumper on some things, so I tend to be a little heavy-fingered. And there you go, getting an aerial view of things, of the valley and above. Kind of reminds you a little bit of A New Hope, when you look at the temples in the background for when the X-Wings were taking off and everything, right before they went and blew up the Death Star. And so I'm just, posing upwards as to what I have, outside and the decorations that I have. And I'm going to speed up here a little bit. I'm going to be probably doing this back and forth with, areas I want to show a lot of stuff off. I'll probably have them just walk, and then when I want to scoot, I'll probably just run. But here I have the typical Cantina Bar, the mini bar, and I also have the Equillibrium cabinet, which has all the bar makings in it. So I've always used them in all my strongholds as being a bar setup. So I had bartenders and waitresses waiting on hand. So now we're back into the main room. And you're going to see tables and work tables, and there's going to be conference tables, and there's going to be computers, and there's going to be screens and monitors, and all kinds of things, and bounty tables, and we have a little glitch. Does that to me every once in a while when I'm recording these things. But here's one of the I think this is one of the bounty tables, if I'm not mistaken, and then we have the Equillibrium table back there that just has nothing but the white light. I use different kinds of lighting in here, just because of the way that the computer sat and the way the building was situated, so I kind of played around with that a little bit. And then I have some of the decorations right above that separate between the upstairs room to the lower one. And so we're going to go past some more of these computers and go to the other room, which is kind of like the waterfall room. I've seen people use this as a spa, a meditation room, I use mine as a storage room, just because I hadn't planned on what I want to do with it really, and I just kind of stuck things in there to make it look like a storage room. You really can't go up. There's a waterfall that comes in through the top of it onto those rocks, and it comes down and comes to the floor, and then you've got, I guess, an underground creek or something that goes underneath the building for the water to go somewhere. I am tempted between this room and my medical bay room is to try to see what I can hop up on and get as far as I can go, but I haven't done that yet. That's one of my next little play agendas that I want to give a try and see if you can sneak up to the little things and see how far you can get. So we're heading back down to the main room again, and we're going to come around one of the big computers. I have actually two of the big computers, and if you notice, I keep guards at different spots. I always have one Republic guard and one Imperial. And so we're walking past some more monitors and some more computer stations and personnel. I'm trying to give you a good view of some of the different kinds of monitors that I have, because they vary from Zakulian to Republic to Imperial to Galaxy to the small computers. These other flat ones here, these two are Zakulian computers. Power screens, etc. I try to lay them out to make it look like it's a tactical room in a sense, with everything. And I put personnel around, and as if some are talking and others are working and planning and whatnot. But it was kind of fun. It's been interesting trying to put all these things together, because there's a lot of hooks in this room, large and medium, a lot of large and medium. To get things going there. And then you have your other computers on this side and work tables and a scientific table there, some more monitors, as well as I post the banners and everything from both factions, and I have all the datacrons here, including the one dual set for the Dark and Light series that we had last year. Since you're only allowed to have one, I put it in this stronghold to kind of like match the decor a little bit. But I have both factions datacrons there, as well as a lot of these Zakulian focus ones that we have here on these pedestals. So we're going down to the medical room right now, and I have the two different types of tanks for Kolto. I have the medical computers, and I have scientific computers, and I have a medical closet, and I have different types of bed between Imperial and Republic and Zakulian. I don't think I have any Imperial in here. I have to flip it back around, because the ones that are showing are all Republic. But the medical droids are for either faction and to get stims and whatnot, if you need them. And I won't be able to see that other side until we come back in here in a minute. But there's the other item I'm trying to think of, see if I can bounce out anywhere and look at things. I don't think it'll take me up, but this one here is a ambient machine makes bird sounds. I thought that was probably about the decent one for a medical room that I had, because the other ones were like temple whispers and gambling casinos, and I didn't think that would quite fit too well if it's a medical aspect. And then I have some lab shelves there, and then I have a little porch area or patio area that I just, for patients who are recouping, you can go sit outside and watch the waterfall and get some fresh air. Nothing really too strategic on that one. But here we're going to take another look at how far down the valley is between that waterfall, and take a look at the waterfall here. And then there's the bridge that goes to the Yavin grounds, which we're going to be hopping up to here in just a short few minutes. So after we get a look around everything, I'm kind of like showing off not much of a lot. I love the graphics on the waterfalls. I think they're absolutely beautiful and very realistic in most of the areas. BioWare, I think, did a good job on that part of it. So let's go ahead and get ourselves going out of the medical unit and get our butts back upstairs. Yep, I don't have an Imperial one in there. So I missed an Imperial bed in that hospital unit. but I do have them in other units. And some of the trophies along the way to put on the walls for decorations. I'm going to do a Strongholds 101 type video, and I'm going to have some links on there. And there's a guy that uses those that can make them look like stained glass windows. So I'll have his link in there, and he shows you how to do it and everything. It's really awesome. Not that I've tried it, because I haven't, but maybe I will one of these days. So here I have my banners and everything in this upstairs unit, and also my 5th anniversary decorations that were just given out. And I have the Yavin lighting up there, and I have one of the hex units up there from my cat, and I have a submarine. I still to this day haven't figured out why I put the submarine up there. I just did. I might be moving that someplace else. But this unit has your appearance fixer-upper and all the hold that you need, and also has an item modification unit. And in the beginning of this video, you saw where I got the first load of items for my character, because this one was, it's her first go around. So I just got done getting the additional emails that send you items. I believe those were the universal and synthetic and industrial fabricating droids. Now this is the Jedi Library panel, and it's an interactive one. It doesn't do a whole lot. It just runs for like 30 seconds and then off you go. But it's kind of unique and interesting in its own aspect, because it's a little different than the other libraries that you have, the ancient libraries that you have there. And then of course I have my GTM machine, and I got these railings in one of the packs that's from an Iocath decoration set, and I thought it was kind of perfect spot to put them so you don't fall down into the lower level. And of course this one also has the grates up on top, but there's no waterfall coming down through it. But as you see, I have different banners and everything in there, as well as additional posters and signs and stuff. So now we're going to head on out into the Yavin grounds, and this is the bridge that will take you there. I call this Hero's Way because the majority of my statues are all my heroes from the Knights of the Old Republic. Except for Revan. Revan I got, he put him in. That's supposed to be the good guy Revan one that I have there, so I kept with him. Now these are a Republic and a Imperial starships that you can interact and light up and show. And it's just a hologram of the ships. And so I'm going to take you up the side roads here on these temple walls on this big one. This piece here I got at Voss, and head up upstairs, and you've got stairways going up this side, and then in the back on another side, and I'll show you how to get to and fro. And there's my HK-55 memorial, as well as my radar tower, and I just kind of threw some holographic trees from the 2014 and this last past Life Day celebration. I have a ton of them, but they're kind of unique, and they kind of fit really well in certain areas. And then I also have my cannons up there. So we're going to take a jump up to the very top one here, and there's a little blue square that you click onto, and it springs you on up. And up here I've got just a few decorations, a Rishi hut and some trees, and I've got the Eternal Empire command thing of, I want to say, shields. And then you have your open screen. You can look down to the bottom of everything from there, and then I have a Iocath memorial item and a Rishi idol, and then of course we're gonna look over the edge here, and there's Darth Malgus all by himself in the no man's land, as I call it. But I'm gonna jump down here and take you over to where the waterfall is going in, because that's the one room that has a storage room that the water comes down through. And I think it's kind of neat how they built that. And there's one of the Yavin Guard statues. And here we go.
You and me?
And I always have fun when I get to this little waterfall. I'm always like, shower to shower each day. But it's interesting because you can actually see things clearly when you look down them. and it's kind of fun to run through the waterfall and just goof around. But you get a good view of everything, and then you can jump down here and get to where the Yavin guard is standing. Now, because Yavin is a tropical area, majority of your statues are going to have green stuff all over them because it attaches it well. So when I first put my statues and everything out, and I came back the next day and they were covered with green stuff, I was kind of surprised. But I learned through other folks that it does it because it's the way it's designed for Yavin 4, because it's tropical, that it's just going to do that. So it does it in real life, so they're going to make it look that way for us. So we're going to start off here on Heroes Road, and I'm kind of doing the spin around and walk around and showing banners and flags and things that you can only see from certain angles. And we're going to turn around here and head up to the rest of the grounds and have a nice little walk through to where we have the gazebo. With lots of potted plants and trees and shrubs and everything to make it coincide with being in a tropical area. See, you can see right there with the green on the statues because it was gold. But it's kind of unique in a sense that it has this. It's very pretty. I like to look over the edges of the waterfalls and everything. I think to me the graphics are great, so never mind my silliness on that part. But I'm just going to show it all off so you can see how it's, the valley is distant and where everything's located, because you get different views of different temples and everything at different spots. So we're going to head up now to the other two temple buildings, and I've made each of those a Republic and an Imperial, more or less housing area where their beds and desks and chairs and everything would be, and also for meditation, etc. It's a slow walk for me, sorry. But I'm just trying to show some of the detail of all the items you get when you have higher resolutions on your videos. My first set of videos that are still on my page were not done with the higher resolutions as these are, and so I've been having kind of a lot of fun with being able just to walk slowly and get a really good look at and descriptions of a lot of things of what they have on them and stuff like that. So right here we have two of the pilgrim statues, Serenity Pilgrim I think they're called, and then I also have my Sitiel Shan statue right there in front of the Republic side, and I have the Jedi meditation stones there, and then the forge was there for Jedi. Over on the Imperial, where I'm walking to right now, has one of the Galactic Memorial statues, as well as Lana Beniko is right there up front too. So we're just going to run around and show a few things here. This is a Voss altar, and then we have a beautiful fountain there, and then we have some of the Imperial and Sith relics, as well as a Sith forge. And so we're going to run back again, and we're going to go to the back here where I've got Darth Mar and Shae Vizsla, and this is Shae Vizsla as Mandalore, her new title. And then I have another Shae Vizsla one somewhere else. I can't remember which stronghold I put it into, but there's also a separate one for Shae Vizsla as well. So she has two. Only one out of the, except for Revan. The Revan has more than one also. So here is the Jedi side, and I have the meditation pod, and then there's two Padawans meditating, and we have the beds and stuff in here. Very simple, very plain. I didn't do this one gussied up like I did some of the other strongholds, because it being a temple, I didn't really think we needed to have a whole lot of stuff out there. But we have, one main bed, and we have a set of bunk beds and a regular bed and a table and chairs, and here's where we have some fun that we're going to play with. And I had a little Jedi fountain too. We're going to jump up here because there's stuff up here on the top. Now, in the midst of doing everything of this video, silly me, did not realize that there's actually hooks that are on the second level. And so I didn't put anything in either one of these towers for this one or the Imperial, but they're all up on top. But I do have, you know, the lighting structures. But I couldn't believe I missed that one with all the things I was doing with decorating. But I do have the Disc and Forge here. Kind of, I think, fits the feel with the rocks and everything, and Yavin being in an older type civilization, so it kind of, to me, kind of like fits in decently. So here we get another view of everything from topside, including the Sith towers, I call it. These have up and down stairs on both sides, but we only have the 2 tabs, and you can jump down to the second level with the tabs. But jumping down to first level costs you a little bit of life, so, you know, no big deal. You're not going to die, but you'll pounce off a few points there. So that's pretty much it there with the Republic side of this thing. Once again, use 3rd and 5th season or 5th year decorations. And so now we're going to head on over to the Imperial, and you see I have the memorial statues and some of the Sith artifacts. I have regular beds and good beds, and I have these. Oh, that's wall safe again, kind of from one of my other explanations into my videos before. A lot of Sith detail on these Sith bunk beds and cabinets and whatnot. Now I'm going to show you a little trick here. If you /sleep, your character can actually lay down on the bed and pretend to go to sleep. But on this type of bed, doesn't matter what color, it could be this one, the plum, or the black, you kind of meld into the bed. I think it's kind of, you know, ironic. It's a squishy bed. You suck right into it. But if you go over to one of the regular beds and type in /sleep, you actually lay down and look like you're normal on the bed. So I think it's kind of, you know, ironic how one bed is different from the other, but that's probably the fun of it all. So we're going to let her just take a 5-second nap and then get her up. And we're off to go to the second level. Now these big bunk beds I showed you are from the new chapters, and they're actually called Stasis bunk beds. There's 4 stasis chambers, I guess you'd call it, 4 beds. So it's quite a big unit. It takes up a complete large floor hook. So here we are going up this Sith one, and I have a Rishi chieftain's hut. For some reason, some characters I can wiggle them underneath the tree stumps right there, but this one, the Imperial ones, I have a hard time getting them through. I don't know why. Just a little different, I guess, or maybe a glitch, or I just hit the right place at the right time a few times. But this has actually got a fully decorated hut. I mean, it just not one just sitting there doing nothing. It's not empty on the inside. It actually has items in there. You have chairs and a floor bed and a junk pile of stuff and some baskets with things and whatnot. So it's, you know, it can be a little roomy. And you can make your character, actually, if you back them up all the way and you do sit, /sit, you can actually have them sit down in the chair. Oops, typed the wrong one in that one. Here we go. Put the right keystroke in there. And you have them sit down and kick back a little bit. There we go. Now they get kicked back. Kind of reminds me of a 1960s chair, but that's a little different. Okay, so we're up and at 'em again, and we're going to take on out of the chieftain's hut and head back down the stairs again. And luckily with the stasis bunks, when you jump down to second level, as you're going to see here in a second, I'm going to get the little blue button, and there we go. And flip down, and I'm going to take a running jump, and I'm going to land on the stasis one, and lose no life. So that's kind of convenient for that one. So it's a little bit different. But anyway, here we go again. We're off and running. And so we have all these little different decorations I've collected from Outcast packs and whatnot, and I've placed in a few different spots some of the basic crew skill ones that you get. You get 4 types with your characters. We're here with the refugee center because I have, you know, refugee huts and beds and camping stuff, and I've got the underworld oven here, and I've got a housing container, as well as a couple of stands for gear and weapons, and then I have the Mandalorian tents with some Mandos, I believe. Yep, there's 2 Mandos, you know, kind of like hanging out and doing stuff. And then we have our med center, and I have the medical probes that you get from Zakul. And here we are with some more items, and this is the one that you get your 4-piece starter set for crew skills. But just gonna open the because it comes in a little ball there, and then you open up with all 4. But that's your basic row right there, what you get when you start off a new character at level 15 to start your strongholds. And so I'm going across each and every one. It kind of tells you the name of each one. When I do the Stronghold 101 video, I'll tell you how many you get of each when you initially start off. So we're gonna fly through this here and get it done. So I got a few of the little surprises here. So we're gonna pass by the circa stands and vendor stands and stuff, and you're gonna see that I have in lots of little different places I've got crew skill stuff. But I made a crew skill farm because I collected mostly one of everything. I got a few extras of others. A lot of the 4s that we first get with the characters. But I went ahead and laid out a crew skill farm. So I have all my cyber, I have all my archaeology, and I've got my slicing. I have all the safes there, and when you do come, if you come to visit it for any reason, you can plow on through and you can get credits from the slicing ones, and you've got the materials here for bioanalysis and biochem, and you've got the artifice coming up here. I have, you know, each color for different sizes and what they are, and the power crystals and everything that you could think of, including like the carbonic one actually comes in a mining cart, which will be in the back here in a second. But I have all the color reds, all the color blues, all the color greens, and I have all the power crystal ones as well. So you can come, and I think you have to have a silver key or more. So if you want to hit me up sometime when you see me running around, come on, and I'll invite you in, and you can do some gathering if you need to. But I have also the fabrication droids here, and I also have the little not the Ewoks, the Jawas that you get supplies from as well. So now we're going to head on out to the rest of the Yavin grounds, and I have a variety of different things. I've got Iocath, Nethema, can't remember how to say the planet. Items there, and I've dropped in a few tables and chairs, and I've got some I think those are from McKeb, and they're just like umbrellas and stuff like that. And I have these little sentry things there that I put up, and I've put a few guards around them. But you have a lot of little green decoration hooks that have fun trying to figure out what I'm put there. But I utilized my sentry mounts that I got from Zakul, and just put them there because it seemed kind of neat. And I'm running past my star generator here, and we're going to go on up to the tower here. Now this is where you're going to find, and I can't do it on this one because it's too low of a character, but there's an Easter eggs I should say, within this tower. the large temple and the two smaller temples, if you have the micro binoculars for looking for the droids, you can actually use them on those towers, and you will get a codex that has to do with Yavin 4 and the Manasseh war, one of the wars. It's like the 1, 2, and 3 that they have listed on the codex. I found that out from Hyperspace Beacon off of YouTube, and he showed, you know, how to get them and everything. I have not taken the liberty of jumping down there to see whether you live or die, but I would imagine you probably would die the way some things are made in the strongholds. But you have a lot of land here and a lot of things to run around and see and do and play in and whatnot. And you've got several areas where you've got like little ponds that come off of waterfalls, and they continue on to another waterfall, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to give you a view of one of them here, because this to me is one of the prettier ones to sit and look at. Not that one. Yep, we're going. There we go. This little area here to me is just very serene in a sense. But you also have a real pretty spot right down below. As you see, I have a tent there, and there's a way to get down there. I would imagine you could probably jump. I don't know if you'd die. I haven't tried it. It looks like it might be one of those ones that'd be a high fall, but if not, it might be one that gives you a lot of loss of life. But we're going to head on to the where you can get into it. And this is a spot that a lot of people at first didn't quite learn about if they weren't paying attention to Dolphy and Vulkk and stuff like that off of YouTube and off the internet, because these guys go through these things with a fine-tooth comb and find everything that you need to know. And so right behind this head is a cavern that you enter into. Another pretty pond that you can sit here and meditate if you wanted to. Just love the waterfalls. I think they're neat that they actually put them all, so many of them in this thing. Try to make it look realistic at least. So let's get our little tush going here, and we're going to get into the cavern. You'll see it right here. It's actually called a Forgotten Cave. Or Forgotten Cavern, sorry. And relatively, you just run on through it to get to the center area of this cave, and you got an area that at one time must have been used for the gods or worshipping or something. And I have in here some I've got an altar here, and I've got some Yavin ruins, and I got one of those anathema creatures, whatever the heck they are, hanging out in there. And then I also have a Mandalorian tent on the inside. I thought it'd be kind of neat to have the Mandos be the one to find it first before everybody else, and so I put that in here. But if you continue on down this way, you'll head on down to where that tent was that I had in that room, or in that area, and you're going to find that you have a little bit of running to do, and it's kind of interesting. I like how all the details that they put into it: glowing water, glowing ferns. I wonder sometimes if they're radioactive or phosphorescent or just what they are, but it's kind of neat because you don't have a lot of light in here. So I'm thinking that a lot of it is phosphorescent in a sense, but it's kind of pretty in its own weird sense. But we're going to get out here to the opening of this cave, and we're going to come on to another tranquil little area of a pond and waterfall. And there's our opening. And so we are in our respite area, as I kind of put it. To me, this is one of the nice ones you can sit by the waterfall and just contemplate if you wish to. Doesn't really have any hooks other than the one for the tent and the one for where I have the Anasi tribe thing there. And then we're going to take a good look over the edge. And this is going to be our... Now, a lot of this area that we're just going to do some running around here, around this final pond and everything before we close out the video. Yavin has a lot of hooks. Some were kind of strangely laid out, like this area here with the one large hook and a couple of small greenies. But it was a lot of fun putting it together. You can be creative. You can get other ideas from other sites like Swtorista and SWTOR Central, SWTOR TV, SWTOR Guy, Dolphy, Vulkk. I mean, there are a lot of them. If you just plug in strongholds into your search, especially if you're looking for decorations. There's that one guy I mentioned earlier that does the stained glass window effect. There's so much out there. Have a lot of fun with your strongholds. Have a lot of fun decorating. And I'm going to leave you now with the original recording of how the vendor is supposed to be.
You are a powerful figure on the galactic stage. Powerful figures attract powerful enemies. Shield yourself from your enemies. Broaden your sphere of influence. Wield your prosperity as a weapon. Accomplish all of this and more with strongholds. Procure a location from across the galaxy to construct your new power base. Adorn your stronghold in stunning opulence. And immerse yourself in gratification as the seething resentment and abject fear of your adversaries wash over you. Be ever in service to the Empire. Show your worth. Brandish your power. Secure a stronghold now.